Hello, elder students. Mr. Lawrence here with part 2 of your video. I didn't want it to go too long in case you wanted to watch in 2 parts or over 2 nights or something. I'll get both parts posted tonight, though. All right, let's see. We've got a ball launched from a catapult that is 15 feet off the ground. The initial velocity of the ball is 45 feet per second. Okay, I am going to go ahead. What was it, 15 feet off the ground? Yes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw a picture. So I've got this little platform going on here, right? Okay, and here's my catapult. All right, and there's my ball. And my ball is going to go something like that, right? It's going to follow a parabolic trajectory or a parabolic path. Okay, now some things I'm going to point out. First of all, this is 15 feet off the ground. Initial velocity is 45 feet per second. Now, I know that the high point is the vertex. If any of the problems ask me about how high it went, I'm going to find the y-coordinate of the vertex or the h-coordinate. I know that this is going to be a solution or where the parabola touches the ground. So this is a solution, right? It's an x-intercept. So for this, I'm going to use the quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Chris, are you listening? Don't forget the over 2a part, sweetie. All right, now I know that to do the vertex, I'm going to need two coordinates. I'm going to need the negative b over 2a. But to get the other coordinate, use the equation. I have to plug the x value in, or the t value. Okay, what equation am I using? Well, it's h of t equals negative 16 t squared plus or minus v sub o t plus h sub o, right? And in this problem, specifically, it's going to be h of t equals negative 16 t squared plus 45 t plus 15, because it's being launched from a height of 15 feet off the ground. All right, let's go back and see the questions now. How high will the ball go? There you go, the vertex. So I'm going to find the vertex. So I'm going to do t equals the negative of b over 2a, which ends up being 45 over 32. Okay, I don't know that off the top of my head. 45 divided by 32. And you get this big, long, ugly decimal. Now that's in seconds, so it's 1.40625 seconds. So I know I'm not going to round that right now. I know that the t-coordinate, the distance from here to here, is 1.40625. To get the y-coordinate, or the h-coordinate, I'm going to plug this in to this equation. Now, if you want, you can use the 45 over 32. Go back and forth. 5 over 32 squared plus 45 times 45 over 32, and then plus 15. So this will get me the height, the ending height, or the height at the given time. That's supposed to be an equal sign there. It doesn't look very good. Hold on one second. All right, so h of t equals. All right, so I can go to my calculator at this point, and I'm going to type in negative 16 45 divided by 32. I'm going to square it, and we're going to do 45 divided by 32, and we're going to add 15. And so there we go. Now we know it's going 46 feet. Wait, where'd that answer go? Okay, so it's going to go 46 feet. But now it's going this fraction of a foot. So I'm going to subtract off the feet 46. And there's 12 inches in a foot, so I'm going to multiply by 12, and that should get me the number of inches. And there we go. We're going to get 7 point, and I'll say 69 inches. Now you might be wondering, like, why is it okay to use the decimal here? Because we don't have a unit of measure smaller than an inch. Okay, we don't break it down. If we're going days to hours, we have to break it down. Hours to minutes, we break it down. Minutes to seconds. But once we get to seconds, we hit a dead end, and we go to hundredths of a second. And so here we're going to hundredths of inches. Okay, so it's going 46 feet, 7 and 6/9, 69 hundredths of an inch. All right, so that's the answer to that. So it's 46 feet, 7.69 inches. How long does it take? Well, I already know this. This is this number right here. Okay, and then I can round that. So I'll say about 1.41 seconds. Now, if I plug 1.41 into the equation, I'm going to get a slightly different answer than I did. That's why I didn't round until it was time to answer. When will it hit the ground? Well, that's a quadratic formula situation. So I'm going to go section off this work here. X is going to equal the negative of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4a and then c, right, all over 2a. I'm going to simplify this a little bit. I'm not going to round. X is going to equal negative 45 plus or minus, I'm thinking that squared is 2025. Let me see. 4, 5, 6. I think if I double 15 6 times, I'm going to get my answer. 4 times 16, because 4 just doubled twice and 16 is doubled 4 times. So it's like 2 to the 6. So I'm just going to do 15 doubles. So I'm going to go 15. I'm going to double it. So there's 30, 60, 90, no, 120. Okay, there's 3 doubles. Now I'm up to 240, and there's 4. 480, there's 5, and then 960. And it's going to be a positive plus 960. Now I'll just confirm that, but I'm pretty sure it's right. So what was it? 4 times 16 times 15. And there you go, 960. Okay, so now that I have this simplified version, in fact, I can even go x equals negative 45 plus or minus the square root. Let's see, 960. Looks like I'm going to get 2985 over negative 32. Now I'll go to my calculator. So I'll start a parenthesis, and I'll do negative 45 plus square root of 2985, close it, and I'm going to divide by negative 32. Alright, so I got this negative time. Well, that must be before the ball is launched, so I'm not interested in that. And so I'll go find the other one, the other answer. And there we go. We get about 3.11 seconds. So when will it hit the ground? In 3.11 seconds. And about 3.11 seconds. Okay, last part here. When will the ball reach a height of 30 feet? Well, that's real simple. You see, we start with our equation, that blue equation up there, which is negative 16 t squared plus 45t plus 15, the starting height. But now the ending height becomes what we're trying to find, 30 feet. So I'm going to put 30 in here. I'm going to set it equal to 0. And I'm going to get 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 45t minus 15. Now we'll go to the quadratic formula. Okay, A, B, C. I'm not going to check the discriminant because I'm expecting 2 answers. Why am I expecting 2 answers? Because it goes to a maximum of, what was it, 46 something? Yeah, so it's got to hit 30 feet on the way up and on the way down, assuming it's unencumbered. Nothing happens to it on the way. So I'm going to go x equals negative b plus or minus square root. And if I remember before, the 45 squared was 2025 minus 4 times 16 times negative 15. Now, if I remember right, that was 960. Only this will be a negative because I've got 3 negatives being multiplied. The 4 is negative, the 16 is negative, and the 5. So I'm just going to go ahead and erase and write minus 960. Okay, that'll be over negative 32. All right, now 2025 minus 960, 1065. So I'm going to have x equals negative 45 plus or minus square root of, what did I say, 1065? 1065 over negative 32. And now I can go to my calculator. So let me see here. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? So I'm going to start a parenthesis, and I'm going to go negative 45 plus the square root of 65. I'm going to close that quantity and close the 1, and then I'm going to divide by negative 32. And there's our first answer. So we'll have a time of 0.39 seconds. And that's approximately, of course. Okay. And then I'll do second enter. And I'll change that positive to the net minus the square root. And that will get me at about 2.43 seconds. So 0.39 and 2.43. So it will, hit 30 feet at 0. I can't remember. 39243. 39 seconds. And again at 2.43 seconds. And those are rounded answers, of course. All right, so it might hit it, say, here. And then it's going to hit again over here because of symmetry. All right, if you're in 2nd or 8th period, you can stop watching. You don't have to watch the next part. If you're in honors 1st period, go ahead and watch it. All right, a rectangle has a perimeter. Oh, isn't that twice the length plus twice the width? And it equals 112 4/10. Okay, and an area, oh, that's length times width of this. Sorry, my throat is getting very sore. I'm afraid I'm going to get sick on spring break. All right, I'm going to solve by substitution. I'm going to divide by 2. Well, I'll subtract off the 2L. So I'll get 2W is going to equal 112.4 minus 2L. Then I'll divide by 2. And I'll get W equals 56.2, I believe, minus L. So I'll write L times the quantity of 56 2/10 minus L, and that'll equal this number here. All right, I'm going to distribute, and I'm going to write my squared term first, minus L squared plus 56.2L. That's going to equal 769.36. Going to subtract off this so that it equals 0. And I'll get negative L squared plus 56.2L minus 769 and 36 equal to 0. Now I am ready for the quadratic formula. A, B, C, easy as -1, 56 and 2/10, so negative 769 and 36 and I'll go into the quadratic formula. Should I get a negative in the discriminant, I'll know that this is not possible. There'll be no solution. I won't because I prepared the problem ahead of time, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. And actually, in this case, it would be L equals, not X, because I'm using L as my input variable. So, negative of B plus or minus the square root of some ugly stuff, right? Minus 4AC all over 2A. Alright, we're going to simplify this quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and leave it up to you to simplify it on your own. I'm not going to show you all the gory details, but I'm going to go ahead and do it on my calculator. Just because I want to get this video done, I don't want to take any more time. Alright, so let me see here. 56.2 squared minus 4 times -1 times negative 769.36. And so my discriminant ends up being 81. That's kind of pretty. And that's all over 2 times. Oh, there's a mistake there. It's supposed to be over 2A, isn't it? Which should be -1. So that'll just be over -2. So L is going to equal negative 56.2 plus or minus 9 over -2. So negative 56.2 plus 9 divided by 2 ends up being negative 23.6. And negative 56.2 minus 9 divided by 2 is going to equal I should be dividing by -2, silly me. Equal a 32.6. Well, check this out. What happens if I multiply 23 and 6/10? Where do we go here? All right, let me clear this out. If I go 23 and 6/10 times 32 6/10, I get 769 and 36 Isn't that the area of the original problem? Yeah, I've got my two solutions. So the length, and it doesn't matter which one's which. It doesn't matter what you call it. So the length equals 23 and 6/10 centimeters, and the width equals 32 and 6/10 centimeters. All right, that's it. It ended up being quite a long video, but you got a couple nights to watch it. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Good luck on your test.